I now call to order the April 21st, 2026 Board of Trustees special meeting, time being 6:30 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Clerk, make a roll call, please.
Trustee Wiegand.
Here.
Trustee Cannon.
Here.
Trustee Daly.
Present.
Trustee Moyer.
Here.
Trustee Teets. Mayor Pro Tem Mason.
Here.
Mayor Chaussee.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Are there any amendments to the agenda this evening? Awesome. Any conflicts of interest with the agenda this evening? No. And now it's time for public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak on non-agenda items will be asked to sign in behind the podium. State your name for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. All right. No public comment. On to the presentation portion of the evening. We have the outgoing board member appreciation. I'm outgoing, so I'll present on that. Thank you. I just want to thank you guys for a wonderful 4 years, and those of you we had 2 years together. Thank you for that. Patti, town staff, you guys are amazing. Thank you for everything you guys do for the town. There's a lot of care in this room, and so, yeah, thank you guys. I'm gonna miss it, but yeah.
And tonight, we want to take a moment to recognize and thank Mayor Chaussee for his 4 years of dedicated service to the town of Wellington. Your time on the board has made a meaningful impact on this community, from thoughtful discussions to important decisions that will shape Wellington's future. Your commitment to serving the public has not gone unnoticed. On behalf of the board, staff, and the entire Wellington community, thank you for your time, your perspective, and your willingness to step up and serve. On a personal note, you have inspired me, and you have taught me a lot, and specifically about patience and composure, and I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot from you. In addition to that, we've learned about the different types of trust, and you have shown me an example of someone that you would never question their motive or intentions. And you have been a shining example of that. So I really appreciate seeing that example. So it has truly been a pleasure serving alongside you. I wish you the best in everything that comes next. Thank you. A beautiful plaque by Sawdust and More. Everything we're gonna have like the day before now.
One, two, three. One more. One, two. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay, at this time, I'll ask the clerk to swear in the incoming board members.
Thank you, Mayor Chaussee. We will start with Trustee Blackstone. You can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Aaron Blackstone,
I, Aaron Blackstone,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the laws and ordinances of the town of Wellington,
the law and ordinance of the town of Wellington,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of trustee
of the office of trustee
upon which I am about to enter,
upon which I am about to enter, to
to the best of my ability.
the best of my ability.
Did you want to go picture with your wife?
Yeah, is it okay?
Back over there.
She was actually gonna sing a song.
Oh, my God.
I prepared 3.
Yeah. I'll try to be in the picture. Oh, yeah, I just thought.
One more.
And Mayor Garcia? And raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Brian Mason,
I, Brian Mason,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of
That
the
I'll-
United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the laws and ordinances of the town of
the
Wellington,
laws and ordinances of the town of Wellington,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of trustee
of the office of trustee
upon which I'm about to enter,
upon which I'm about to enter
to the best of
to the best of my ability. Thank you, Mayor.
Three, one more here.
Mr. Barrett. Okay. You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kendra Barrett,
I, Kendra Barrett,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will support and
the Constitution and
the
laws,
Constitution and the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and
of
laws
the state of Colorado,
of the state of Colorado,
the laws and ordinances
the laws and ordinances
of the town of
of
Wellington,
the town of Wellington,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties
the duties
of the office of trustee
of the office of trustee
upon which I'm about to enter,
upon which I'm about to enter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Sounded a little.
One, two, three. One, two, three. Thank you.
Trustee Daly.
Correct.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Rebecca Daly,
I, Rebecca Daly,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I'll support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I'll support the Constitution and laws of the United
the
States,
Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Colorado,
the laws and ordinances of the town of Wellington,
the laws and ordinances of the town of Wellington,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of mayor
the duties of the office of mayor
upon which I'm about to enter,
upon which I am about to enter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Someone rushed from the bubble shift.
One, two, three, one more. One, two.
Oh, no.
So I've got a gift here for Trustee Daly. since there's a new sheriff in town.
Oh, my gosh.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, I will call a 5-minute recess. And you guys will start with new mayor and board.
You said you're on a day?
Oh, we said bye to him 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes.
He just keeps hanging out.
All right. Okay, Ms. Clerk, may I please have a roll call?
Trustee Moyer,
Yes, here.
Trustee Blackstone,
Here.
Trustee Barrett. Here. Trustee Cannon,
Here.
Trustee Mason,
Here.
Mayor Daly.
Present.
Thank you, Mayor. You have a quorum.
Great. The next item for action items is we're going to be interviewing and appointment to the vacant trustee seat. And actually, Ms. Clerk, will you please read the action item D2?
Interview and appointment to vacant trustee seat.
Haha. There are 2 applications for the vacant trustee seat. We're going to call up each individual and we do have some questions prepared. The folks have submitted applications and those are available in the packet and they're very detailed questions and answers. So if anybody does want any of information there, it is available in the packet. All right. May I have Troy, please? Or is that the correct person? Yeah.
Well, hello and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Just getting the right paperwork in front of me. Okay, so today we have 3 questions for you. But before I do that, I did want to give you thank you for stepping up and being willing to serve in this role. It is a big role and a lot of responsibility, and I appreciate anybody who's willing to volunteer to serve. So thank you so much. The first question is, please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you think you should be appointed to serve on our town council.
Yeah, so a lot of history, a lot of experiences here in Wellington. We actually built our own house here in 2004, so I've been able to see a lot of just Wellington grow up. Prior to that, I'm native to Fort Collins, so I've just seen this whole area grow up, seen it develop. My passion is civil engineer and developers. Well, I'm not a developer. I'd love to be a developer, but I'm on the civil engineering side doing development plans. So that would be the background that I would come in and be able to present for Wellington as more of a technical background and 26 some odd years of development. So I saw it come through the email. I thought it was a great opportunity, way for me to give back to the town that I've been here for a long time. So thought I'd throw my name in the hat and see if I can come join you guys.
Thank you so much. Second question, what do you think the role of the town board trustee should be? And in another way, as a public official, how would you best serve the citizens of Wellington?
The role wise is definitely you're as an advisor, a trusted trustee. I mean, you're here for all citizens and you're trying to make the best decision that you can for the community as a whole. There's, I think, very special consideration that you have to have on decisions that are made because they're very long-term or they can be very long-term. And again, being in the role that I'm at, I'm a project manager. I manage technical people. I've been on this side delivering messages to boards. So I've been here. So I understand kind of maybe what you guys are hearing. I've got friends that are on board, so I know kind of what their roles are. So that experience, I think, would be very valuable. But again, it's going to be trying to take a technical side of it, break it down to small pieces, make a good decision, take the emotion out of it. It's got long-term decisions. And you're looking out for the citizens and you want growth, stability, sustainability, all those keywords, and you want everybody to thrive.
Great answer. Last question. Describe a situation where you made a difficult, maybe even controversial decision. How did you go about making the decision? What was your follow-up with those who were affected by the decision?
I don't know if this is a controversial decision, but I was asked to be on, well, I'm a floodplain manager. So I was working with the town of Milliken as their floodplain manager, and things went south. The developer, the property owner did improvements, brought fill into the floodplain. It escalated up. That was one problem. Another one, there was a ditch company. They brought fill into the floodplain. It escalated up, got into trial. So I had to go in and I was the engineer as on behalf of the town. So just some of those decisions and trying to find how that balanced for the town and their interest, going to the Colorado Water Conservation Board, trying to find out all the rules and regulations. The one that I'm thinking of particularly, it was the ditch company. They have a lot of rights. So we have the attorneys just starting to bombard you with questions. You got to know kind of what you're talking about. Some of it is actually very gray in that arena. So it's not the most fun part, but I've been there. That was the one that came to mind, is being on the court side. And so it's not my favorite place to be, but.
That does sound very difficult.
Yeah, but been there. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Do you have any closing thoughts or things that we should know?
Maybe just another little, I mean, I've been here for 22 years, lived here. We're on the east side of Wellington. So I've seen like the underpass, a lot of the things that I've grown and love around here is I like all the activities that have started to come up, and maybe it's just with the growth and as people are maybe becoming more involved. The activities that are available, I just remember one of them, they had a big movie screen out there at Wellington Park, and we just stumbled across it, and it was fun. We went there. So if there's there's definitely a few things that I could see that would be beneficial, but maybe getting that word out on some of those activities. That was one that we just stumbled across and was like, oh, this is cool. So I know there's more things going on, and would love to be more a part of it. So.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you again for your willingness to serve. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I'd love to serve any capacity that would work out. So
thank you.
You're very well.
Our next candidate is Sophia. If you would like to come to the podium, please.
Hey, friends.
Hello.
Is it like this? Okay, it's cool.
Okay. So the process is the same. So I'll be asking you 3 questions. Thank you again for your willingness to serve. This is a big deal, and I know this isn't comfortable for all, so I really appreciate you participating in the process.
Absolutely.
Please tell us a little about yourself and why you think you should be appointed to serve on town council.
A little bit about myself. I was born in Colombia, but I traveled all throughout the world because my dad worked in oil. So I had a pretty unique childhood and a number of different opportunities to get to know different cultures and religions and places of the world. I went to CSU to complete my political science and international development degree, what feels like a long time ago, but I did that. And I've owned a home here in Wellington for roughly about 10 years. We just saw the picture that came up that we drew on our calendar of the little house that we put there. And was it tax day? It was on tax day. So I've been a part of the community for quite some time. I've been a part of the board of directors for the Main Street program as well for a number of years and have loved really the process of what started as kind of like a happenstance. I wanted to become a vendor. I established my own little business, and somehow just kind of the current took me towards the program. And then this feels like a really interesting and important next natural step to be able to continue to serve my community and to get to know Wellington at a larger level and, you know, be able to sit with decisions and be more even a part of the fabric of our town.
Thank you.
Mhm.
What do you think is the role of a town board trustee? Put it another way, as a public official, how would you best serve the citizens of Wellington?
To best serve Wellington, I think you have to be open to listening to all kinds of different voices. Wellington is a place that has such a varied, you know, population. We have all kinds of different opinions, and I think it's really important to have an embracing and tolerant demeanor, first of all, and have the willingness to listen to everything, be plugged into the things. I'd like to say that, you know, my kids have gone through all of their sports. We put them in everything we find. They love the library. We've been a part of the community, and I would love to, however, in some capacity too, to be a Spanish-speaking representative for the town of Wellington. We have a large Spanish-speaking population, and I would love to serve as that connecting piece between that population and the rest of our community. So I want to make that, you know, a part of a thing that I can contribute to our town as well.
Awesome, thank you. Describe a situation where you made a difficult, maybe even controversial decision. How did you go about making the decision? What was your follow-up with those who were affected by that decision?
About 4 years ago, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was working for a large healthcare company. They restructured their department and my job went with it. It's not the easiest, you know, kind of bridge to walk through. But so did 3 other of my colleagues. And you have a choice to make when something like that happens. You can either stick with your integrity or you can get, you know, upset and walk away in a huff. Because of the way in which I handled that situation, they kept me for an additional, I think it was 10 days, so that I could help train the person that I hired who was kept on as I was stepping out of the role. I don't know if it's controversial, but I think it spoke very deeply to my integrity and my values and my composure to be able to handle that situation in the way that I did. And for that reason, if I were ever to want to step back into a role similar to the one that I left, I can count on every director that I worked with to give me a glowing recommendation to be able to step back into that. And I think I was very proud of that. However sticky and a little difficult it was to kind of stick around for 10 more days and not burn a bridge that I'd worked very hard to build and to be proud of.
That sounds very challenging. So, Sophia, any closing thoughts for consideration?
It's been fun. I think this team already is an amazing team. So I would be very honored if that seat were to as well open up to me. And I would look forward to sharing the next 2 years and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We now have the opportunity to deliberate. Just so you know what's coming next, I do expect us to take to do a motion and second regarding, just because we have planned so, doing a blind ballot so that everybody would make their vote and then it would be counted and tallied by our clerk. So is there any comments on candidates or any remarks that you guys have for the candidates? Let's start with Trustee Blackstone.
Yeah, I would just like to say thank you both for putting yourselves out there. As somebody that has just kind of gone through the process of this election, I know you're really putting yourself, kind of exposing yourself to the town, and it's a difficult thing to do. And I've heard that from my other trustees here. So I would just say thank you ahead of time for doing that.
Trustee Barrett.
I too would like to thank you both so much. It's clear that we have a lot of people in this town that have a lot to offer, and it feels great to have a wealth of quality people surrounding us. So thank you both for putting yourself out there because I know it's not easy, and yeah, thank you.
Trustee Cannon.
I just want to say that I've always had a great admiration for anyone who wants to step up and serve their community, whether that be a volunteer, whether that be working for a public office. It's a serious commitment to take on the responsibility of establishing the laws for the town that governs how our town will grow. It establishes how we relate to each other and so forth. I want to thank both of you for your interest. I got to know Sophia in the campaign trail this time. Mr. Spraker, I would love to have a chance to meet with you as well and get to know you better because you sound like a very interesting fellow that I'd love to be friends with. So thanks again for your interest.
Trustee Mason.
I won't make a whole lot of comments here because I think these guys have summed it up quite well, but certainly appreciate y'all's interest in running for the board. Obviously, public service is quite a difficult, time-consuming thing, so really appreciate you guys stepping up. So thank you.
And again, echoing everyone, I have no doubt that regardless of who is going to fill the one position, that both of you guys will remain incredibly committed and participate in the town. Outside of the role of trustee, there are many boards and commissions that could use your expertise, absolutely. So I suggest if this isn't the night for you, to definitely pursue those options. And as little as 2 years, you'll have the opportunity again to run for trustee with the next election cycle. So hold tight. We want you and we appreciate your commitment. Absolutely.
And Mayor Daley, I apologize for interrupting. I provided too much information in your meeting guide. I don't need a motion and a second. For the
Okay.
bigger
I was
ballot.
wondering about that. Okay.
And Trustee Moyer is online. She does
Oh,
have her hand raised.
I'm so sorry, Trustee Moyer. I'm already missing people. Do you have any comments or questions?
I do just have a comment. I don't think it was mentioned, but Sophia also was on our water rate advisory board. And I think that is a huge testament to what she's willing to go through and how she's willing to serve for our town and deal with the hard facts and issues that we have. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. At this time, you can now cast your vote and the clerk will collect them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Daley. The majority did vote for Sophia.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Troy, so much for your commitment. We hope to see more of you in the future for sure. Sophia, because we do not waste any time, could you please step forward to be sworn in? And I feel like I'm rushing, but Clerk, will you please swear in Sophia, who can stand on the blue dot? Thank you.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carol Sophia Moore,
I, Carol Sophia Moore,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I'll support the Constitution and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Colorado,
of the state of Colorado,
the laws and ordinances
the laws and ordinances
of the town of Wellington,
of the town of Wellington,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of trustee
of the office of trustee
upon which I'm about to enter
upon which I am about to enter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Sophia, we'll afford you the same photo opportunity.
Oh, a picture with your family? Oh, yes, sure. This time.
Oh, absolutely.
That's A-okay. Let's be real here, people.
1, 2, 3. I'll take one more. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. And so please. You're fine. Take your time.
Congratulations.
All right, on to the next item. Will the clerk please read the title for D3?
Appointment of Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. All right, it is now time to consider the appointment for our Mayor Pro Tem. For this process, we will hear and accept nominations for this appointment. Then we'll discuss the nominations, and finally, we will vote for on the nominations. This is also going to be a blind vote, so similar process. So at this time, are there any nominations for Mayor Pro Tem?
Oh my gosh, so excited to say Mayor Daley. I have a nomination. I think that this person has done exceedingly well in this position before and has shown how dedicated and absolutely just how much they care about Wellington. And so I'd like to nominate Mayor Pro Tem Mason.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? All right, seeing as there is none, I do not think that we need to vote. So we do need to take a vote, I believe.
Mayor Daley, if I may.
Yeah, please.
If we're not doing a secret ballot, this time I will need a motion.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
I move to nominate Trustee Brian Mason as Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
I second that.
And just as clarification for the word nominate, we are going to actually be assigning to, right? Okay,
Correct, yes.
all right.
And just for the record, I have a second as trustee Blackstone.
Thank you.
Trustee Cannon,
Yes.
trustee Moyer,
Yes.
trustee Blackstone,
Yes.
trustee Barrett,
Yes.
trustee Mason,
Feels kind of weird voting for myself, but I'll go ahead and say yes.
Mayor Daley.
Yes.
Mayor, that motion passes.
Thank you.
Oh, it's too new. No. I was pulling the Mayor Chaussee and was reading what was in front of me. I do apologize. Trustee Moore.
Yes.
Mayor, now that motion passes.
That's funny. All right. Will the clerk please read the title of D4?
Resolution number 12-2026, a resolution appointing officers and municipal judge until the 2028 election.
Great. And this will be presented by Patti Garcia, Town Administrator.
Good evening, everybody. This is so fun, to be honest. I have been in local government since 2004. I don't count the years, but I know that I've done an election every 2 years in all of those years, and sometimes an additional election if there's a vacancy or something like that. So it's always fun for me when we get to this point and I look out and see new faces and people excited to serve the town of Wellington and getting to know everybody and having the opportunity to affect positive change for our community. So this is the first step. Our town code, our municipal code at section 2 requires the Board of Trustees to appoint officers of the town. So that includes the town administrator, which is myself, the town treasurer, who is Nick David, the town clerk, who is Hannah Hill, our town attorney, Carl Kumley, our municipal judge, who is Teresa Ablau, and assistant judge, Sarah Steben. Our oaths will be taken care of, our appointments will be taken care of through written. So we won't be taking official oaths in front of you all tonight, but we are allowed by statute to do this by written affirmation. Additionally, you will be appointing a municipal court clerk who is actually appointed by the municipal judge, but you're essentially affirming that, and that is Angela Coe. She sits at the front desk at the town of Wellington. She is also, like I said, the municipal court clerk, and municipal court, if you're interested, is on the second Wednesday of each month. So if you're ever interested in municipal court, you're more than welcome to come in and see how things run and meet Judge Ablau. We are trying to schedule her a time to come in and introduce herself and provide a presentation of actions and things that have been happening in the municipal court soon. So this is what I have, and staff recommends approval of the appointments.
Thank you for the presentation. Let's start with Trustee Moyer. Do you have any questions about the presentation?
I do not.
Right. Trustee Moore?
No questions.
Trustee Cannon?
No questions.
Trustee Blackstone?
No questions.
Trustee Barrett? I almost said your first name.
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No questions. Do appreciate the invitation to municipal court, though. Hopefully it's for the right reasons for everybody. But just
I was going to say, I hope I never have to be there. All right. Is there any public comment on this item? All right. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 12-2026, a resolution appointing officers and a municipal judge until the 2028 election.
Second.
Is there a second?
Lowry seconded.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Trustee Blackstone,
Yes.
Trustee Barrett,
Yes.
Trustee Cannon,
Yes.
Trustee Moore,
Yes.
Trustee Moyer.
Oh, sorry. Yes. That's going to be difficult.
Yes. For the record, I did hear 2 yeses from Trustee Moore and Trustee Moyer. Mayor Pro Tem Mason?
Yes.
Mayor Daley?
Yes.
Mayor, that motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Now on to reports. I know we'll be hearing from our town attorney in a second, but do you have any reports for us tonight?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In the work session tonight, I do anticipate having a preliminary discussion with the board about how they would like to receive communications from the town attorney. And you'll be receiving a brief memo for your consideration on some of the aspects of attorney-client communications that are particular to the town. At this point, it really is just for me to get a sense of questions that the board may have. And then hopefully at the next meeting, I'll get some actual direction from the board as to how you'd like me to implement those communications. I also have, over the last 2 weeks, continued to work with the town administrator. Ms. Garcia has been great. I've started working with staff, with Mr. Bird, with Mr. David, with a number of, with Mr. Gallant, thank you. And I've been learning by leaps and bounds, and I hope that will continue.
Thank you, sir. Town Administrator, do you have any reports?
So coming up on agendas, we'll be talking about Economic and Business Development Foundations. Information about the Parks, Recreation, Open Space and Trails Master Plan will be coming up. I'll be working with all of you to schedule some times to meet and things like that to get you updated on upcoming agenda items and things like that. I won't go through the whole list tonight. One of the things I did want to bring to your attention, and this will be new for you, Sophia, and we will get this information to you fairly quickly. But May 14th and 15th, we have hired a facilitator. It's called the Auto Week Group. They helped facilitate our board development and strategic planning 2 years ago, so bringing them back. And they would like, and I think Mayor Daley and Trustee Blackstone have already met with them, but they have sent out links, and I will send a link out again tonight and copy you on it as well, Sophia or Trustee Moore. So you can set up time to meet with them so that they can get your feedback about dreams, visions, goals for the town of Wellington, so they know how to frame their time with the board in the best way possible. So the first day is the 14th. That is just the board and Deputy Town Administrator Hodling and myself attend that as well. And then the second day is strategic planning, and the entire leadership team attends that with the board. So we can hear your dreams, visions, and goals, and we can work on implementing those through the budget development. So that's coming. The other thing that we are working on is a motorbike, e-bike ordinance. I know that's a top of people's minds. So that's something that I'm working with Mr. Coomley. We received information from LCSO as far as draft language of what they would like to have. And then we will work with Mr. Coomley to create an ordinance to bring to the Board of Trustees to look at. My goal is to get this in place prior to school getting out this year.
Great timing. Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Now we'll move on to board reports. So everybody will have an opportunity. If you guys have any board reports, does anybody have, rather than going through each individual, does anybody have any board reports? Yes, Trustee Kim.
Just real quickly, a reminder, you might have already gotten an email about it. Colorado Municipal League has a district meeting coming up in the spring. We're in District 12. So look for those emails. Our town clerk, do you want to schedule those, or do you want us to do that individually on our own?
Thank you, Trustee Cannon. I will send out an email and I will register anybody interested.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else have a board report?
I have my hand raised, but if it's okay, I'll just jump in. Hey.
Yes, please.
So I'm not there, and I'm sorry I'm not there, but I'm here for very good reasons. I just wanted to say congratulations to the new board members. We're very excited to have you. You have all proved how much that you care about Wellington, and you've done the hard work to be here. And so I really look forward, and as I know the rest of the old board members too, to working with you all and seeing what we can do for Wellington. That was all of us, not any one singular person.
Thank you, Trustee Moyer. Anybody else have a board report? Okay. I will end with my board report of just a thank you to the entire town, to the members on this team. I do consider this a dream team. This will be the fourth iteration of a board of trustees that I have worked with. And each one has been unique, and we have tackled some major challenges and had some huge, huge successes. Of course, there's still a lot of work to do. So I trust that this group is going to be so productive and really serve our town. And I'm very proud of us already in advance. So thank you guys for being willing to your willingness for service. I really appreciate that. And I also want to thank staff and everybody who did choose to vote and participating and showing up. It's so important. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate your support. All right, that ends. Tomorrow's cleanup day for Main Street program. If you would like to volunteer, they need volunteers starting at 3:30. On Saturday, it is Arbor Day celebration. So at Wellville Park, and that is hosted by our Parks and Rec department and their Prost Parks, Recreation, Open Space, and Trails Advisory Board. So there will be wonderful opportunities to participate, including inflatables and fun activities, and a tutorial on how to plant trees for Arbor Day. So please join us. We would love to have you. So those are cool events for this week. All right. We are having no further business. I do adjourn this meeting. And at the time of 7:22, I couldn't remember if that clock was accurate. So, oh, it's right in front of me too. Great. Okay, next up, we will have a work session, but we're going to have a quick recess of 5 minutes. Public is welcome to stay for the work session. It's going to include orientation and work with our attorney. So, but enjoy your recess. I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. We're starting our working session. And first up will be the board orientation presented by Patti Garcia, Town Administrator.
So this is something we do every 2 years. Some of you have already heard this before. We've tried to switch it up a little bit. And a lot of this information you already know or you've already heard. So I will gloss over some pieces of it. Each of you do have a notebook. It is in paper copy. You will also get an electronic version. It has information in it that could be very helpful for you, especially the new trustees, as far as the code of ethics, information from CML on being an elected official. And there's, just some good information. There's a memo in the very front that is from me that talks about your role as a trustee, how I work with you and how staff works with you. It talks about the mayor being the point of contact for media. Lucky Mayor Daley. But if, as you talk to people, if you are in meetings or things like that, or attending a meeting and you need some help with talking points and things like that, just let us know. We certainly provide that for all of our trustees and the mayor pro tem as needed. But to start, we have, there we go. Oops, hit it too quick. There we go, the agenda. So introductions. Everybody's back there. They're going to come up and make short presentations about their departments and their what they're working on and things like that. So I'm not going to go through that. Next up is your mission and vision, which was, oops, wrong way. Sorry, guys. It's going to take me a second. There we go. I do this all the time, but it's because I've got new people probably. Anyway, so this mission statement, the mission statement and the strategic plan that you're seeing now was created when Ottawa was here in 2004. So this is a 2005 to 2029 vision statement, mission, and strategic plan. So in May, when Ottawa comes to meet with the board, we will be meeting over at the Larimer County Office of Emergency Management in Loveland. They provide us our space for free. Those who have been there, it's fantastic. Big, bright rooms, lots of light and things like that. And it's a really great space for us to really work together. But one of the things that you'll be talking about is some goal setting, setting priorities, things like that. So then we can create those action plans that will support the board strategic plan that gets adopted. That action plan would be put into place through the 2027 budget. So our governance structure, as we've talked about in the past, Wellington is a statutory community. So we operate off of Title 31, which is in the Colorado Revised Statutes. Your election is run off of Title 31. Your governance process is run off of Title 31, which is all of the statutory requirements. So powers and rules that is provided in Title 31 is your state statutes and the Constitution. Tabor, which is in actually the Constitution itself. That's Taxpayer Bill of Rights. That's all kinds of fun. The Wellington Municipal Code, which is included on our website, and then resolutions, policies, and procedures, and of course, ordinances, which are the laws, and many of those go into your municipal code. We do operate with a council manager form of government. So that being said, you're the council, I'm the manager, and then you tell me what to do. and then I make it happen, or I do my best to make it happen. Moving on, this is our current organizational chart. This will change tomorrow with our new trustees and new mayor listed at the top. Currently, we have 74 staff, 58 are full-time, 5 are part-time, 11 are seasonal. Right now, you will see on there's 2 vacancies. One is through Parks and Rec and the other one is through Public Works. Those are 2 vacancies that we're holding until June. We will be bringing those positions to the Board of Trustees, looking at the revenues to see if this is something that the board is willing to support moving forward for the rest of the year, or if it's something we need to continue to hold on. LCSO also requested an additional person or position, so that's another position that will be brought forward in June when we bring that to you. Actually, the scheduled date tentatively is June 9th for that discussion. Moving on, we have advisory boards and commissions. Those that are here at the town of Wellington, specifically as the Board of Adjustments, the Finance Advisory Board, the Parks, Recreation, Open Space and Trails Advisory Board, and the Planning Commission. There's staff liaisons for each of those, and then Board of Trustee liaisons for Parks and Rec and the Finance Advisory Board. Right now, Trustee Cannon is on the Finance Advisory Board, and Mayor Daley is the liaison for the Parks and Recreation, Open Space and Trails Board. So for individuals interested in applying for an advisory board, so former trustee Dave Wiegand, I feel like using the right words here, he was very interested in applying for an advisory board. So he's looking at potentially applying for the Parks, Recreation, Open Space and Trails Board. Hopefully Mr. Spraker is interested in as well to apply for an advisory board, but all that information is available online. Once completed, they get funneled to the town clerk. She then schedules interviews with the advisory board staff liaison, the chair of the board, and then trustees that are available. So you go through the interview process, and then there's a recommendation for appointment by the Board of Trustees through a regular meeting. So the role of elected officials and the role of staff is always a little interesting. And those that are new, it's a little, sometimes it's hard, especially if you're used to having staff or employees. So the board's role is policy. You create the policy, and like I mentioned before, it is staff's responsibility to implement that policy. So policy, operations. And if you ever have questions or want or have ideas about operations, feel free to let me know. I'm an open door person. I like hearing ideas, ways that we could improve efficiencies. We don't always know what the right thing is. We're like doing our best. This is what we've learned, and this is what we know, and this is what we do, but there's always operation for ideas. What I want to encourage you as trustees is to express your opinion, especially during meetings. It's okay. Express your opinion, ask the questions. So staff, a lot of times they work hard putting information in a packet. And as much as it sometimes make a really easy meeting for everybody to say, oh, no questions, we're good with it. We would love to have some questions. We would like to know what your thoughts are. Do you support these ideas? Do you support the direction we're going? Is there, changes anything you would like to see different? Engage in the discussion amongst yourselves. Don't just sit quiet, participate. And that's really important, because the effectiveness of this board is based on what you put into it. And it's really important that you engage with each other, and then at the end of the day, support the decision that was made. You might be the lone no vote, or there might be 2 no votes and 5 yes votes. But once that vote is made, I encourage you to support that vote and move on to the next topic. So it's really important. We as staff, I as your town administrator really appreciate that, because when it keeps coming back, when a vote is made and somebody is upset with the way it went, it's really, we don't know where to go. It's like, do I need to bring it back? What do we do? So it's really important for you to develop those shared solutions and advance the community goals that you talk about, especially during the strategic planning process. Board roll on, next one. Board roles and appointed officers overview. So we've just talked about that a little bit. The mayor's elected at large to a 4-year term. Mayor pro tem, as you all know, was selected a majority vote. I've worked places where it required a super majority vote to appoint that mayor pro tem. And boy, sometimes you went for a long time without a mayor pro tem because you needed a super majority vote. So I'm really thankful this went so smoothly. This was great. So your appointed officers, as we talked about earlier, those who report to you directly are myself, the town attorney, and the municipal judge. The other positions that are appointed by statute, by the Board of Trustees, they report to me. So if you ever have any questions about their roles or what they're doing or how they're operating, please feel free to let me know. And I'm happy to let you know how things are going or what projects they're working on, or if you have any ideas about how they're doing things, but happy to do that. And I think Hannah's up next. There you go. I queued you up. Thank you.
So I'm Hannah Hill, I'm the town clerk. I know most of you were at the candidate orientation, so some of these slides are going to be very familiar to you, or if you've served on the board, you kind of already know this. Our agendas are set up how you see on the screen. The mayor and town administrator do set the agendas, and then I publish them via the Civic Clerk website, and you get that link from me every week that we publish with that public portal access, and then the public can view it via the public portal as well. So our agendas flow in that order. The things that I do want to call out that might be a good refresher are you will act as the local liquor licensing authority, and that is operating as a separate board. So we do recess your trustee meeting, and we will call to order the local liquor licensing authority board, or take roll, you hear the liquor items, and then we would reconvene as the trustee board. And the same would be for the library board as well for those items that you need to process. The executive session items, I think we talk a little bit more in detail on another slide. The agendas that you receive should have suggested motions for each particular item. If you are looking for wording, we try to provide you some options and some motions for consideration. That way you aren't searching for wording. If you want to amend a motion, that's always an option as well. You have to use the words "I move to amend," and then we go back to the original motion as amended. If you ever have any questions throughout the process of the meeting, your town attorney and myself and Ms. Garcia are more than willing to step in and help navigate those little details of parliamentary procedure. The actions that you as a board can take are ordinances and resolutions. Ordinances tend to be used for more long-term items. Most of the time you will see them for things that you are codifying in our municipal code. Those are in effect 30 days after publication, unless it's an emergency ordinance, which has to have just cause, and then it's supermajority, and there are a few other little random details that will be called out if you ever have to do an emergency ordinance. But otherwise, the ordinances are generally, you will generally see them for code updates. Resolutions are less formal than ordinances. They're generally items that you will take action on that have a specific time or for a specific project, like a contract or contract renewal. Appointments, you will appoint all of your boards and commission members via resolution as well. Motions are generally much less formal. They might not be tied to a specific item. You can always use a motion to provide clear direction to Ms. Garcia. And then proclamations are more ceremonial in aspect. They would happen on your agenda before public comment, and those are more kind of townwide celebration items. You will also see quasi-judicial actions. These will generally be items that come from Planning Commission and Mr. Byrd. They will also be liquor license items. Those are fairly specific in nature with what you can do, what you can't do. Your town attorney and staff would provide you guidance if we are approaching a quasi-judicial item. We do also provide guidance throughout the agenda for the steps that have to be taken. That also gets fairly technical, and Mr. Byrd and our attorney are probably a little bit more in tune with quasi-judicial items than I am. So if the town attorney would like to add anything, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, we will add those details when an item comes up on your agenda.
We are going to talk about transparency and confidentiality in just a couple minutes. So
Yes.
you teed that up very well. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, this slide went quickly. Open meetings and executive sessions you should also be aware about. I believe your town attorney will speak to executive sessions later in the agenda as well. The thing that I want to call out for the agenda with executive sessions, when we do recess into an executive session, I provide that language for you and it does need to be read. So you have that full Colorado revised statute language for why you are adjourning into executive session. It makes the motion a little bit lengthy, but I spell it out for you. You should also be aware that you as appointed or elected trustees also are subject to open meetings. So anytime 3 or more of you are meeting on town business, I do need to post it. Again, I'm sure your town attorney will go to a little bit more detail, as well as when you have your training with CIRSA, you will get a little bit deeper in the weeds for this. For my slide, if 3 or more of you are meeting or having going to a CML meeting, if you are meeting at a PROS board or something like that, I do need to know about it. Ms. Garcia would need to know about it just so I can post it as an open meeting, because if there are 3 or more of you, it is considered an open meeting to the public. I talked about that slide. It's in your book though. For emails, you all have a town email address. The thing that I just want to touch on for this slide is all of your emails and your correspondence as a trustee are open to the Colorado Open Records Act. So they are Cora-able. Anything that you do on your laptop or in your email is considered town property and it is public business. So I would just be aware of not sending personal items from your town email address, not saving personal documents on your laptop, that type of thing. Just be aware that as you're acting in your role of trustee, all of that is public. And again, I believe the town attorney and CIRSA will dive into the weeds on those. The public can reach you all at once with one email via our website. There is a fillable form. It's basically just an email. They will fill out their information, put their body of their email, and once they hit submit, all of you will get it in email form.
Ethics. Yeah, it's a big topic. It is such a big topic. It is included in our municipal code under Chapter 2. We also have CIRSA, who is the Colorado Intergovernmental Risk Sharing Company that we use, the town of Wellington contracts with to cover risk management for us. One of their attorneys, his name is Sam Light, will be here in a couple weeks, May 19th actually, to present to the board and to answer any questions you may have about your role as local government officials, what your risk is, how to protect yourselves, how to protect the town, what liabilities you have to be aware of as far as being an elected official. But I encourage you to look at Chapter 2, Article 6, if you get the opportunity. It's a little bit of light reading. Moving on. Outside organizations. So this is more organizations similar to our advisory boards and commissions, but these are boards and committees that are not Town of Wellington, but we do participate on. Some of these you do appoint a board of trustees. Some of these we are just partner organizations where maybe staff is taking part. So the first step is the Colorado Municipal League. Trustee Cannon serves on the policy committee for that, and that's been very active during the legislative session and then kind of dies down for a little bit and then bumps back up starting in the fall. Box Elder Basin Regional Stormwater Authority, lovingly called BBRSA. There are 2 individuals, Wellington residents, who are appointed to that board. It is Richard Seaworth and Tim Singwald. Tim Singwald is a former mayor of the town of Wellington, but we have 2 individuals appointed to that. Their appointments expire in 2027. The North Front Range Regional Watershed Coalition, I believe we still have the intergovernmental agreement for that, but I think it's getting ready to fizzle out, or I'm not sure what the word is, but dissolve. That's the word I was looking for. We have the Behavioral Health Policy Council that Trustee Wiegand was on, so they'll be looking for someone else. We have the Upper Front Range Transportation Planning Region, which I believe Mayor Pro Tem Mason is on that one as well. And the Larimer County Regional Opioid Council, which I believe is Mayor Pro Tem Mason as well. So those are some of those items that Mayor Daley will be talking about and hopefully getting with you over the next week or so to see which ones you might be interested in. There is a portion in your book that talks about the individual boards and commissions and these committees as well. It talks about what their goals are, the days they meet, things like that. So you can look at that and see if any of those events or these items would work into your schedule. So now we have the fun part. And we have Deputy Town Administrator Hodling coming up to present on behalf of the town administration. You will also see that there's a section in your book after, like, I think staff names that we give you some ideas on how to pronounce names, because sometimes it's a little confusing. Kelly and I have lived through some really interesting times with people trying to pronounce her name. So we've given you some tips.
I saw that the CSU football team does that for their complicated player names. And so my name is Kelly Hodling, like yodeling. That might help you. So that's in your book. Yeah, there's a lot of different names. So I am the Deputy Town Administrator. So thank you all for being here. And all right, so the administration department. So as Patti mentioned, kind of high level, this is a council manager form of government. So if you think about a corporation, Patti's role is really, you all are the board of directors, and then Patti is the CEO essentially of the organization. And I'm her number two, helping out with that. And so there's a variety of things that we do. Day-to-day operations is the first and foremost, implementing policy decision from you all as the board, preparing the town budget, and just overseeing that strategic plan and making sure that we have a steady hand on the rudder every single day and making sure things get done efficiently. And then from our team, the administration team, you all met Jerry Martin tonight. He was taking photos. He is our senior marketing and communication specialist. So he really leads the website that we have, social media, the town newsletter. We have a great new town podcast that we've been working to kind of get more complicated messages out. So feel free to share those with residents because we need, people always say I don't know what's going on in the town. Well, we try to do a lot of different ways to reach folks. And if you have ideas, please let us know. And then Caitlin Morris is the Main Street and Events Coordinator. So throughout the whole year, the town puts on events, Main Street puts on events, and between all of those things that we're doing, we get thousands of residents and visitors that come visit our town and spend money. And so that's a big way that we try to engage our residents. So look out for those upcoming events, and we have the Main Street Market coming up and 4th of July and lots of different things. And then our management analyst, Kelly Byers, she works on grants, reporting, special projects, and then I lovingly call this job other duties as assigned. So anything that departments might have, we lend assistance to help out where needed. And I did want to look up a stat right before this, just trying to look up, how much grant funding has our town gotten since 2021? And we've gotten $10.7 million of grants throughout the year. So that's pretty impressive. And that's not just us, that's this whole team back here. Everyone works really hard and is always looking for funding to do the incredible things we're always working on. So thanks. I will turn it over to Ms. Hannah Hill.
So I'm still Hannah Hill. My name does not have a fun pronunciation, unfortunately. My department is the town clerk's office. As you know from your resolution earlier this evening, you all affirmed the appointment of my municipal court clerk. She's my other half of my small but mighty department. We stay very busy, but I think the high level things that you might be more interested in, we do coordinate all elections with the town. I act as a designated election official. I'm also the town's records custodian, so I'm in charge of all of our paper and digital documents, all massive number of them. We oversee all licensing, including liquor and marijuana. I will act as your liquor licensing secretary as well when we have those items. I do also oversee all the board and commissions functions. And then some of the fun things that we're doing this year are we're working on implementing a cemetery software update. It'll be a little bit more public facing. It'll also help administratively our function of being able to provide good customer service to those individuals who need to make use of the Highland Cemetery. It also sets us up for success if and when we do annex the cemetery into the town and get it surveyed and kind of do a couple other steps with that. So we're very excited about those processes. We're also working on a lot of records management projects. For those of you who don't know, the town last year adopted its first records management policy. So the past year has been working with staff to really kind of educate and train and inform what a record is. How are we treating our records? How can we set our organization up for success? We're also working to become more digital and also manage our digital files. So that's a big project. I don't want to say it's exciting, but I'm sure it is. The other items I also oversee municipal court. The municipal court clerk stays busy. She does have an increase in tickets every month. For the past couple of months, we've seen an increase. So that's not exciting. I need more words today. It's good for MuniCourt to see that increase, to see all of those people processed through our system. The other big step for us is that we are kind of going down to the ground floor for our department, and we are setting up all of our processes and procedures and really starting from scratch and building those up so our department can provide support and service to all of the other departments, but also our residents. I only have one side.
Good evening, Mayor and Trustees. My name is Stephanie Anderson. I'm the HR Director. So I oversee both human resources and also information technology. So you met Alex Diaz, who was here a little bit earlier. All right, so in our departments, HR and IT, we're really internally focused. So our work spans across all departments. And our main roles are to really help staff have the tools that they need. So in HR, we're a team of two. I have myself and one other direct report. Her name is Darla Roselle. She is my HR generalist. And we're really focused on hiring and retaining a highly skilled staff. We process payroll, we manage benefits, we work through personnel actions, and we create and enforce policies for staff. And along with this, I also do manage our property casualty insurance through SURSA, which you've heard about and you will hear more about soon. And then Mr. Diaz, our IT manager, he's responsible for all town IT. So he's been great at ensuring our systems are secure. He manages our phones and our internet and has helped bring us to a more stable and secure network across all town departments. He's great at providing day-to-day technical support and supports all staff projects. So you heard Ms. Hill talking about records management. He's involved in that. So he's seen everywhere and really brings a lot to our town. If you do have technical issues, so if you're having trouble with your email or getting in, just give us a call and we can help you out. But I look forward to working with you. Next, I have Mr. David.
And good evening, Mayor and Trustees, and congratulations all on those joining the board. I'm Nick David. I am the Finance Director and Town Treasurer. The Finance Department is made up of 4 individuals. We have our Director, our Controller, our Administrative Finance Clerk, and our Utility Billing Coordinator. So we do all of our accounts payable, accounts receivable, purchasing, card program, controls, including system controls, financial system controls, and financial management controls. We also oversee the hardship utility grant that is created by the board, and a number of day-to-day functions. And as well as the town treasurer, I do provide the board reporting. So monthly, we are providing the treasurer's report, which is going to be your overview of review and expenditures based on general ledger and by department with each fund. We also provide our report of expenses, which is a list of all expenses. So it's going to be your checks, it's going to be any electronic transactions that are incurred during the month presented. We are also supported by 2 consultants for professional services. We have Dawn Rhodes, who is a CPA with Baker Tilly, who helps us with all of our end of year reporting, our accruals, and preparation for audits, as well as Troy Bernberg, Municipal Advisor through Northland Public Finance, who is a resource for us in developing tools that you'll see later this year, like our revenue projection tool. This year, similar to what Town Clerk Hill said, we've kind of, over the last 2 years since I've joined the team, we've completed 3 audits. We're in the middle of our 4th audit. We've redone the financial management policies, and we're now taking all of our processes and standardizing them, creating SOPs so that we can continue to operate the financial management of the town in alignment with these new policies and continue to maintain the momentum we've created over the last couple of years. And then the last big thing that you'll see here in the next couple of months is we do support the town administrator's office in creating your budget book, all the fun spreadsheets that are in there. It is a manual process done through Excel, and it involves a lot of the board being involved in giving us direction and feedback. So I look forward to working with you all here in the next few weeks next few months over that. I'll turn it over to Mr. Gowing.
Hi, I'm Bob Gowing. I'm the Director of Public Works. Public Works, we're a department with 29 positions, roughly divided into 2 major divisions. One of those divisions, both led by Deputy Director, who are right there, the one with their hand raised, is Megan Smith, Deputy Director of Utilities. So water, wastewater, to some degree, the storm drainage enterprise, and of course, distribution and collection. Those are all parts of the water utilities. And Megan managed, she's also in charge of the source water program, which you'll hear a lot about in upcoming meetings. Nathan Ewert, that smart gentleman right there, is the Deputy Director over what you would think of as traditional public works: streets, engineering, development review, drainage. He's also the floodplain manager for the town. So within those 2 divisions, our staff is roughly split. There's a few more folks in the utility division, but what we do is take care of most of the town's infrastructure. If it's not in a park, chances are we take care of it, and we try to approach that from kind of a life cycle point of view. So the things that you'll see in our little presentation here in the list, which isn't quite up yet, generally speaking, we would go from planning to design to construction to operations and maintenance to eventual replacement of that infrastructure. So it's this endless loop that we go through the future to make sure that there's never a spot in time where one of our services is discontinued prematurely, because almost everything we provide is necessary for the town to function. So I did want to pull a couple of the bullets out, and I hope you guys have there you go, the presentation there. One of them being operates and maintains town infrastructure. That's a really simple 4 words, but 5 words, sorry. What that entails is roughly 21 of our 29 positions are dedicated towards operations and maintenance. So out at the water plant, both water plants, the booster station, the wastewater lift station, the storm drainage lift station, the distribution and collection systems, the streets, all of that is operated. So obviously the facilities with all the machinery that's in there, they get very intensive operation, but our operators operate and maintain these facilities. And again, that's by far the biggest part of what we do. The other thing I kind of wanted to pull out and talk about was engineering review, and really just kind of point out an interesting fact that a lot of people don't think about. But when a developer comes in here and we have them design all the infrastructure to our standards and all the entitlements to planning and planning standards, well, they pay for the design. We review it and we give them guidance as we're going. They build it
We provide construction inspection to make sure that it meets our standards. And then they give it to the town. They dedicate it over to the town. And then they pay the system impact fees and the other fees that they need to pay. So almost all the infrastructure that you see out in the world, if you're not inside a plant, was created through that development process. So it's a vital part of what we do. And of course, we work very closely with the planning department on those functions. So we also have some other things, kind of everything that's left over. We maintain the town fleet. We provide general maintenance for facilities. We helped paint this room, a little while ago. But when Ross needs a picture hung, we come over and do that for him, and all manner of things of that sort. So with that, I'll take any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Good evening, Cody Bird, Director of Planning. The Planning and Building Department consists of a couple of different functions. Primarily, you think of planning as the comprehensive plan, the community's vision for how we want to grow and develop over time. It's a long-range vision, and it's the basis for a lot of the rules and regulations that the town has regarding development. Our zoning, our subdivision regulations, development standards, all the way down to building permitting. That all emanates from the comprehensive plan. And for those of you that are new to the board, I'll get you a copy so you have that along with all the other fun things that Ms. Garcia and Ms. Hill have given you. The planning department, as Mr. Gowing mentioned, also starts the development review process. We have great partners in our engineering review group. We also refer development plans to outside agencies, school districts, CDOT, utilities. We collect all that feedback, and then we put that into a synthesis and bring that back to you to evaluate, or the planning commission first and then to you, to evaluate whether or not those plans meet the town's needs and ultimately result in development decisions. A lot of those development proposals are based on long-range plans and studies. The comprehensive plan is the easy one. We've also done a housing needs assessment recently. We're currently underway on a transportation and mobility master plan, which we're through phase one engagement and moving into synthesis, and then we'll move into phase two public engagement for the community to weigh in on that. But these plans and studies really help inform the decision-making that at a staff level, we as directors and staff have to make. You have to make kind of aligning with the community's vision for how these systems should operate and what our recommendations are from a technical standpoint. One of the other functions we have is administration of building regulations and building permits. We license our contractors. We also oversee licensing of our businesses. That was a system that we've overhauled in the last couple of years to provide a better base. And all of those permits, licenses, and contractor licenses all go through one point of contact with the town. Danae Smith is a fantastic employee. If you ever get to meet her, customer service, bar none, she is fantastic in helping people get through their challenges. We've also recently undertaken the role of economic development and business development. We hired a business development manager about 6 months ago, and we're going to be bringing forward in this next couple of months here some of the baseline work that we've done, analyzing existing business conditions, listening to our Wellington businesses, talking with outside commercial contractors, brokers, and design professionals for what they experience in the commercial side, and then kind of identifying this is where we're at today. Here are some of the next steps that we envision for kind of an economic development or business development roadmap for how the community can continue to grow in the commercial space to attract those retail sales tax dollars. Unfortunately, we do have the fun task of doing code administration. Sometimes we have public nuisances. We have properties that become distressed, abandoned, need other forms of attention for violations, down to parking trailers improperly, tall grass and weeds, all those fun things. Unfortunately, someone has to remind our residents that we do insist on compliance. And I'm happy to report last year we were almost 99% were voluntary compliance, and the remaining 1% ended up in some different form of enforcement action. But that's a really high success rate. And we do that through that cooperative neighborhood services officer that we have on our team. So not to highlight all of the things that we do, but some key projects in these spaces. We've done a lot of work in the last couple of years on housing affordability with our housing needs assessment. We continue to meet legislative acts at the state of Colorado to comply with the changing requirements that we have to keep up with. We've done a lot on energy compliance too for state requirements, building code adoptions and other things. We've got more to do, so you'll be seeing that later this year. We're bringing those forward to you. But I am also happy to report that as part of that space, for first time publicly, the town has received a $2.8 million grant for housing affordability work to work on policies to meet and exceed state standards, and then unlocking some capital dollars to directly reduce costs for bringing those affordable products to market. So you're going to be hearing more about that in the next couple of months. But we're really excited to be diving into that project work to continue to expand on those opportunities. Lastly, I'll point out the periodic reporting piece. You'll see in your board packets various reports from the planning department. We do a quarterly building permit activity report and lot analysis or lot inventory analysis. It highlights how many developable lots we have in town, what our current trends are, how many are remaining in each subdivision, how many are remaining in total, what's our development pipeline look like. It informs a lot of the decision making that we do to create that predictability for growth, revenue projections, and our utility funds, enterprise funds. You'll also see quarterly reports for NOCO Humane Animal Control Services that our team also oversees, and various other reports throughout the year, sometimes topic specific. So happy to be providing all that information to you at your upcoming meetings. And I'm going to turn it over to Sergeant Downing.
Good evening, Mayor, Trustees. Congratulations on your new appointments. I look forward to working with all of you. My name is Russell Downing. I'm the current sergeant over our contract with between the Larimer County Sheriff's Office and the town of Wellington. We provide the policing services for the town, and it's my second year in this office. In my 15 years at Larimer County Sheriff's Office, between being a deputy up here and a corporal and now a sergeant, this is my 7th year contributing my service to this community. It's something I've really enjoyed, and my time up here has been productive, I feel, and I really enjoy working with the community. I like the small town aspect of working with the town, and working with the board has been a new experience as a sergeant, which has been a learning curve for me, but it's been enjoyable. So our contract currently provides for 1 sergeant, a corporal, and 6 deputies. We serve 24/7, and we also have a front desk deputy who's at our substation during business hours, Monday through Thursday for any walk-ins or VIN inspections or things like that. We have a records clerk who also typically stays up here in our substation. And we also have the full force behind us of the sheriff's office. So we've got all of those ancillary units that serve the sheriff's office in the county, such as our investigations unit, our crime lab, our victims response team, our SWAT team. All of those things come with this contract. And we bring all of those with us as required on different cases and different calls. One of the things that we really focus on in this contract is with my deputies is community policing. We try to get out as much as we can, get our guys out of our cars, especially during the summer months, and interact at the parks. We try to do that between calls and between chasing traffic. And try to increase that engagement and that buy-in between the deputies and the members of the town. I'm at your disposal. We'll make sure that you have my contact information. You should have my email address shortly, and Ms. Garcia will connect you with, she'll get my personal cell phone number to you as well, for use in times when you need to get a hold of me quickly. Again, any emergencies should be handled through dispatch, either through 911 or through the sheriff's office dispatch, but anything that you feel is specific to me, feel free to reach out to me directly. All right. Thank you, and I look forward to it.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, trustees. My name is Carl Kumley. I've recently been appointed as the town attorney, or reappointed this evening. So to you who've just joined the board, thank you for giving me 1 month of seniority. I was appointed on March 17th, so I am very much in learning mode. And the town attorney has a number of functions. We obviously represent the town in any litigation, try to avoid that to the maximum extent possible. We draft documents, we negotiate, we advise, and we strategize. And I have to tell you, I'm very impressed in my 1 month here at the tremendous caliber and assiduousness of the members of staff that you have here. You've got a really, really outstanding team. For the town attorney, you, the board, are the principal client, and our communications are ordinarily confidential, or can be, particularly when we are giving advice, when we are getting your direction as to negotiation, when we are strategizing with you. And I want to talk a little bit about the open records law and the open meetings law, because those are both areas in which the town attorney has a little bit of a unique function. So one other thing I wanted to mention, and Ms. Hill touched on this briefly, but she talked about taking care that more than 2 of you do not discuss town business at the same time in other than a properly noticed public meeting. That's absolutely true, but it extends from 3 of you meeting on a street corner and discussing what you're going to do about a municipal park. It also extends to your email conversations. Anything that you cannot do in person, you cannot do virtually. And so those kind of communications, when any 3 of you are simultaneously, or not even simultaneously, but on an email thread, on text messages or something like that, you're communicating with more than one other trustee, you probably are in violation of the open meetings law. So just a point to be aware of going forward. Communications between an attorney and the local government are an interesting balance between the most important thing you can do for your constituents, which is to be transparent in everything you do, and the need for confidentiality in certain business and governmental situations. And we walk that tightrope all the time. You're aware that you are subject to the Colorado Open Records Law. However, communications between an attorney and town staff, or attorney and the board, are not disclosable under CORA. It's one of the few exceptions to CORA that there are. Advice given by the board in an executive session is also exempt from the Colorado Open Meetings Law. These communications with the entire board are permitted to occur in private without your constituents being present in an executive session. And in those executive sessions, if it's attorney advice, we even turn off the recording. And there is no written or recorded record of those conversations. It is one of the major exceptions to the open meetings law, and a corollary of that is that we enter executive sessions advisedly, and we do it very much aware of the fact that we are transgressing against what really should be the way that you do business all the time, being transparent. There is one particular section of the open meetings law where we don't have any record of the discussions. All flows from the attorney-client privilege. And that is a privilege of you, the client. You as a board are able to waive that privilege whenever you want. I also should mention that when we go into executive session, it requires a supermajority of the board. 2/3 of the board members present have to vote to go into an executive session. And if you don't do it, you don't go into an executive session. Finally, the attorney cannot be required to testify against the interests of the client unless the client waives the privilege. How does that come up? If we are in negotiations with another party and there is something that comes up between the board and the attorney, and we discuss something, and the mere fact that we discussed something has legal relevance, you might, under circumstances like that, want to waive the attorney-client privilege so that I could testify about that if it's really important to establish a claim or cause of action in litigation. You should have a brief memo that I put together this afternoon on these communications. I do want to talk with you a little bit or get you thinking about what I hope we will be discussing as a decision item at your next meeting, to talk with you about your preference in receiving legal information that is privileged from your attorney. I often, when it's called for, will draft memoranda to try to advise you on a particular point of law. Could be conflicts of interest, could be a matter involving development, dealing with a particular developer, wide range of things. Those written reports can be public, but if they include items of strategy, if they include items of legal opinion, I'm going to mark that memorandum at the top, attorney-client confidential. And when you see that at the top of a document, and this short memo tonight is not one of them, I'm going to ask you, as part of your fiduciary obligation to the town, to always honor that confidentiality, to not make those memoranda available to the press or to any third parties at all. And that's, I think, a tremendously important thing that I want to impress upon you, is that the confidentiality obligation really is part of your fiduciary obligation. There may be times when a written memorandum is something that we don't have time to prepare for you. On the rarest of occasions, we might ask to meet with each individual board member, one after another, in order to apprise you of a particular legal issue or a legal rule or strategy. That's going to be the very rare exception. I've only seen that used twice in my career, and I've been around for a year or two. Also, I am very open to investigating other ways to communicate with the board to maintain confidentiality. So if there is any other manner of doing that that seems useful to you, I'm anxious to hear it. I don't know all of the answers, not even all of the legal ones. But my own preferences are, as you see at the bottom of this memorandum, confidential memoranda to brief the board on particular matters, executive sessions when they're properly noticed and are appropriate. And another thing that we always have to be concerned about with executive sessions is, and particularly when you have a collegial board, there is a tendency to drift from the subject matter of the executive session. If you do that and someone can testify about it, you run the risk of waiving confidentiality because you're then outside of the parameters of the statute that give you the right to enter an executive session. So it is within the realm of possibility that if the town administrator or the town clerk don't mention it to you, that I might interrupt a discussion that's veering a little off the rails and remind you of that. Are there any questions about anything that I've mentioned here so far? The other thing that I'm going to do is I'll make sure that each of you has my cell phone so that you can call me at any time. That's something I do with all of my clients, but I particularly find that it seems to be most useful with my governmental clients because you often have issues that come to the fore on a relatively compressed time frame. And if you want to talk about something like that, I'm happy to do it with one proviso. Whatever you and I share together, I may be obligated to share with all of the other board members as well, because you all stand on equal footing. Not even Madam Mayor has the ability to converse with the attorney without all of you being entitled to that same information. So those are some of the ground rules. I'm always happy to engage with any of you at any time. Please don't hesitate. If you have the phone out and you're thinking, should I call Carl? You've answered the question. Please call. That's all I have for this evening. And thank you very much. I'm looking very much forward to the privilege of working for you and with you.
Good evening, Ross Lajeunesse. You will not get it. It's okay. I have many nicknames. You can use those. I am the director of the public library. I just want to take a quick moment to point out I hung that sign on my own. There was no work order to Public Works. So most of you know me. Ooh, it went the wrong way. Sorry. Going very simple. Our mission and our vision is what is on my desk, and any decision I have to make is weighed against this. So it does matter. It's not just a mission out there. I look at it every day. The Wellington Public Library, in cooperation with the town of Wellington, we are a municipal library. That's our design. Honors our history with focused intent on the future. Our mission is to serve and reflect every member of the community in an enlightened, democratic, and unified approach, and that won't change. Our guiding ideals are community, connection, and curiosity. Even the smallest thing I have to purchase, it is taxpayer dollars. It's weighed against that and our vision. Most of you know, I have my little checklist. I've been the director for about 5 years now. I live in Wellington, and we have a team of 7 members, different. There's some part-time, there's some full-time, but we try to have our fingers in every piece of the pie in Wellington. That's all I have. I'm going to turn it over to Billy, which we have an event this weekend. We work together a lot. The Billy and Ross team. Yeah.
It's Wellville Park. See if I can get this thing going the right way. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Trustees. Congratulations. Can't wait to work with you. Billy Cooksey, Director of Parks and Recreation. Our department is comprised of myself and 7 full-time staff. We have an operations supervisor, 2 recreation coordinators, an assistant recreation coordinator, and 3 parks technicians. But we also have at any one time up to about 16 seasonals, depending on the season and whether or not the batting cages are open. Need every single one of them when the 4th of July hits, that's for sure. So our department has provided unified services since 2021, supporting the health, vitality, and quality of life for our community. As participation in recreation grows and our programs grow with it, we're thoughtfully balancing and maintaining and reinvesting and investing more in aging infrastructure with the development of new amenities that reflect the community's evolving needs. We remain committed to being fiscally responsible stewards of public resources while ensuring the park's facilities, treescapes, and trails are safe for our public. We want to provide diverse year-round recreational opportunities and look forward to the future to be able to do that even more. Our biggest idea is just to foster connectivity, wellness, and community engagement and really push that through for all of our residents. Along with the regular maintenance and programming that we have in 2026, we're advancing several key initiatives, including the completion of the multi-golf course, which should be done, is slated to be done in June. We will hopefully be adopting and immediately implementing the PROS Master Plan and Community Center feasibility study. That should be brought to you hopefully in June if everything goes right. We also have been improving our irrigation capabilities across our system to drastically reduce water use while enhancing parks and native areas. So we will continue to do that over this year and the next few years. And we will also continue the very popular Movie in the Park series that runs monthly from May till September, held at various locations across town. So please join us for that. They're very fun. Our department has also overtaken the process of booking and renting the community room here at the Leaper Center. That's a process that we decided to ensure a more cooperative and public-facing process that will provide more enhanced services and upkeep of kind of our one shared public amenity for both community and staff. Along with that, our department is committed to continuing support with coordination of the Boys and Girls Club, Poudre School District, and other local entities and stakeholders, really just to expand, in fact, impactful community programs and experiences. So together, these efforts are more than just projects and programs. We look at them as investments into the connection, wellness, and the community pride. As Wellington continues to grow, we're excited to help shape the future of our parks and recreation spaces. We really want to bring people together, listen to what the community has to say, and just provide for them. And I will pass this off to the end of the presentation.
Fantastic. All right. So you can tell for a small town, we have an educated, experienced group. And I know you didn't hear from Nathan or from Megan, and probably as you've been attending meetings, you've heard from them, them present as well. But I feel so fortunate that we have such an amazing team working for the town of Wellington, working on your behalf and on behalf of our residents. They're amazing. And I have no other words to say other than they're amazing. So that is the end of our orientation. Again, there's a lot of information in your books. In those books, there's also the list of employees. It includes our email addresses, our cell phone numbers. Please get those in your phones. I'll be reaching out to you all on your cell phones just to make sure that we can communicate back and forth. I know a lot of people prefer to text message as opposed to emails and things like that. So I want to make sure that I'm meeting all your needs in that respect. So that is the end of our orientation, and would be happy to take any questions or just take it all in, and you can call me later. Perfect. Call me later. Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, I reviewed it generally, and I'm hopeful that I will get more direction from you at our next meeting.
session of our group. So appreciate everybody and I appreciate staff being here so late. So thank you guys so much.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you.